Hi, it's Rachel here from Drumwhill, and I woke up thinking this morning about the trees and the way that they're showing me that they would like to connect. I wrote a post in the personal conversations with Earth group a few weeks ago about what the beech trees had shown me and how there was 3 sort of down a lane, and how they wanted me to put them in connection with each other in a different way. Like they showed me about connecting them up to other trees of a similar species and a similar stature and similar, I don't fully have words for it, but similar purpose. They're not quite right, but there's these trees that have some similar qualities that, if we connect them together, are better able to do their work. That's how they're showing me. That's what they're showing me, and so on that occasion, it involved really talking with this first tree, and she let me know what she would like and how she wanted to connect to these trees further up. And I took some nut cases and leaves and things from her and left them with the next tree, and then that tree showed me about a tree further on, and I left some of the things from the first tree with that one, collected some bits from there, and then went along to the third tree, and then I talked to them obviously and touched them, and then I left some bits there and collected some bits, and then I walked back and brought some bits from the first tree back. So there was this sense of connecting them together in it's almost like in a more, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's in more of the above ground plane. So like particularly I'm thinking about the heart and the heart height for me, and helping the trees to connect at that sort of human height level somehow. And it really is hard to put some of this into words. Like they just really show me energy and ask me for things, and I just carry on and do what they're requesting. But I thought that they might be useful to try and put some words around it, and also give the opportunity of sort of sharing this process in a way that you could maybe play with it and explore it with the trees that are around you and see what that creates. Because I'm really getting a sense that this is a contribution for the trees and the planet right now. Yeah. So after doing that with the beech trees and writing in the group, there was another lady, Anna, and she wrote this beautiful reply, and she had this awareness about these trees, and she said a similar grace and wisdom to each other, and that really spoke to what I was aware of. And she mentioned about her tree and it being in the midst of other species of tree, but wanting to connect to trees of the same species and sort of stature or grace. And that gave me a little more awareness about that, and something about the shared awareness between us that gave me something else. And then yesterday she wrote another post, having been back to the tree, about how the trees were really grateful for us to for us connecting them in this way with these trees of the same species and stature or grace. And it just prompted me to think more about that. And I've come out here to, this is an oak tree just down by the lock, and actually I came here last week and it asked me for a similar kind of process. When I stood with it, I asked what I could contribute to it, and it showed me about, there's a king oak tree who I've also had some lovely conversations with, and he's probably about 40 minutes walk from here, still on this sort of land here, and this tree wanted to connect to that tree in this above ground way. He's kind of, and I've come to sit with him to see what wisdom he can share with us today for running this process, really. When I asked this morning if there were any trees that wanted to talk about this, he kind of came forward and said, yeah, come back and see me and I will be able to reveal more about this. So when I came to see him last week, he asked me about connecting him with this king oak that I've been to see over in the far corner, and it was a really beautiful process as I stood with him, and it is above ground. Like, I feel like they're connected underground, but they're wanting to connect above ground. It does really feel about like my heart level. It's like in a more heart human type way, not really human, but above ground, and in a way that brings them more solidarity in the physical. Like, they're connected in so many ways energetically that we don't even understand, and under the earth in the roots, but it's like in this physical material world in which human beings are living, there's a way that as human beings we can help them to we can help them to connect to each other, and in some ways that's something that can both contribute to the trees, but also I also get the strong sense of it contributing to humans and to humanity, and how that contributes then to us coming together and living together, like the trees, the humans, but all life. Like, what I feel like they're showing me is a way that that all of life can live together, and that if we listen to and respect the wisdom of each other and of ourselves, there's this different way of living that is just much more pleasurable and easy and effortless and flowing and joyous and natural. It feels like it's a natural way of living, and I really get that it will be easier for us as human beings, for our bodies and our nervous systems, and it will be easier for the earth. She will flourish better, and it will be easier for the trees and for all life forms. It's like, actually, if we can shift in this way and take on board what nature is offering us right now, then we really can change the world. We really can create a different and nicer way of living together, and I really have this sense of, like, it is time for us to live together, like, to acknowledge individually our individual strengths and capacities and gifts, and also collectively how we can collaborate and bring them together and create something different. And the trees are really excited about that, and they're really excited that I've started to come and talk with them, and they're really excited for this possibility that's emerging in this current pause time. And I'm really excited because it's just amazing. Like, I had a lot of awareness that we could live differently, and I moved here less than 2 years ago, and the nature and the life is showing me different ways of living all the time. Like, I really committed myself to following nature and let it show me what its wisdom and what it knows, and then having spent 21 months sort of immersing myself in that, it's like, okay, well, how can we create something together that honours what you would like to see in the world and honours what I would like to see in the world, and what is it that together we know that is possible, that we can create and share and invite people to. And I'm really excited to see more of that being revealed now. It's such a gift, really such a gift to me and to everything. Yeah, cool. And the trees contributing so much to us as we sit here. Like, it's so happy that we're sat here having this conversation, and it's so happy, all these trees here. Like, there's this one I'm sat next to, but there's that lovely one that's over the top, really, and I reckon that's a beech, maybe, and this is an oak. Maybe that's an oak too. So this tree wanted to connect to this oak, and also there was this watchman oak that I also went and sat with, and he showed me a lot of awareness about his capacities and gifts and what he would like to bring, and so this tree really wanted to offer its support to those trees. And there was something about the way that it asked me to, it's like it wanted me to show it sort of where they were in the physical, it's like in this dimension, really. It wanted me to show in my awareness where they were, so it could contribute to them in this way, like almost through me, in the way that I can connect with the trees, as well as the way that it can connect with the trees. And it was like we were consolidating, bringing together what we know in such a way that it enabled both of us to connect these three trees and me in a deeper, fuller and more responsive way. And this tree really was pledging its allegiance to the other trees, because this tree feels like it's very able to support, and its gift is support. And the king tree is really showing me its awareness of how it's aware of all the trees in its land, and how it's caring for them in a way that considers them, responds to what they need, but doesn't control, and it doesn't think it knows more. It lives as equal with the other trees, but it also takes its role as king tree and knows that that's a role to care for the other trees and to gently nudge them on their journeys, it felt like, and to let them make mistakes, but also support them and gently nudge them back onto their paths if they needed it. And so this tree really has the desire to support the king tree in what it's doing. And then this sort of watchman tree had this view of watching over, really. He was like an observer, and his role and presence as an observer was making something possible and available that in the watching could create more, like his skills of observing created more. So the way that this tree then asked to connect to those tree, and in that those other two trees connected together, has created this kind of triage of the trees, that they are sort of witnessing each other's gifts, supporting each other's gifts, and encouraging the flourishing of each other's gifts, and of bringing those gifts into this current reality, this current lived experience of the way the world is today. And it's good to talk about this, because it helps also to formulate it for me, because a lot of this is coming through energetically and I'm not necessarily giving voice to it. But there's something about them bringing this lived experience into today, into this current world and this current reality, that enables it to be more available to us to function in this way. So we can almost, it's like it makes it available so that we can go, oh, that's a skill or a capacity or a gift or a way of functioning or living or being that is amazing and also could add something to my life, either in awareness or in my body or in the way that I live or in the way that we collectively all live, us humans and nature. And so they're excited to make this available to us because they know that in making it available to us, we have different choices. And also it brings them, it kind of makes them almost slightly more human. I know that they're trees, but it makes them slightly more human in that there's a way that we can relate to them. They're offering us a way to relate to them that's a little bit more substantial and solid, which suits us as humans in a different way. And they're asking for us to do this. So if you're aware of a tree and you have a connection to the tree, ask it if there are some other trees of a similar species and grace and wisdom and stature sort of within the, I don't know, half an hour direction around and about, and ask if there's anything you can contribute to them in helping them to connect to each other. And it may just be that you can download to them the placement of the other trees that are a similar stature and species. And it may be that you could take a leaf or a broken branch from one to the other and to the other so that you're taking something physical. Or it may be that you hug or stroke or touch the tree and then go to the other and go to the other, and so you're transferring the energy in this way. Or it may be something different, like the trees will show you what they would like, what they require, and what's going to contribute to them, and also what they can contribute to you, because in this process they're showing me, and they're making us aware of the way that individually we can contribute to them. So my way of contributing and playing and experiencing life and relating with these trees is different to the way that you would, and is different to the way that another person would. So there's a real opportunity within this exploration to discover your capacities for bringing these trees together. So let it be play, let it be fun, let it be joyous, and there's nothing you can do wrong in this. So let it be an adventure in bringing the trees to life and bringing yourself to life, and creating a way of living where the trees and us are friends. That makes me cry. Friends on such a deep level, like we've really got each other's backs and we really value each other. Like we know how much each of these trees adds to our planet, to life, and how much each of us humans add to life just by being here, just by allowing ourselves to connect to our essence and our gifts and what we bring. And there's a beauty in discovering the gifts of the trees that will enable you to discover the gifts of being, and that's, I don't know, that's just such a privilege, that the trees really are showing us what a blessing we are as human beings after all that we do, and all the lack of care that we've had for ourselves and each other and the planet. they're showing us the beauty of us. They're allowing it to come forth, and they're showing us the beauty of humanity, and they're showing us the beauty of co-creating in such a way that we all live as friends. We all live as friends. Like, he's lovely. I'm stroking him here. I don't know if you can see. And he loves it. He loves the fact that I sit with him and stroke him. And he says, yeah, we can all be friends. We can all value each other. Yeah. And it delights me that we can do that. It really delights me. It delights my heart, it delights my spirit, it delights my body, and it delights the totality of the essence of all that is life in me. Thank you for watching and enjoying this, and thank you for playing, for all the people that are going to take this up and play. And even if you can't get out to trees at the moment, there may be trees that you already are aware of and the placement of them, and there may be something still that you can do. So go ahead and do that, you know. Go ahead and do that now, and do it from your bed if you need to, or your house, and play with the process, you know. Really allow it to be a play of discovery. This is Rachel with a beautiful tree. Let's see if you can see him more. That's the log. Can't really show you the top of him very well. What if I stand up? There is some of his branches. So with this beautiful tree in this beautiful part of the world in Galloway, thank you for watching. Enjoy, and I will see you somewhere soon. Bye for now.